All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is June 21st, 2025. I told you I'd keep you updated, and don't ask me how I know. But Donald Trump will reveal, along with the United States military, a major revelation imminently of a top secret weapon that will be deployed for the first time in world history. Please like and share this video. It is absolutely important to like and share. JD Vance is carefully posturing. As you've noticed, he's put out a lot of commentary that we don't want another ground war. We do not want another Iraq and Afghanistan. As I told you, God told me there will not be another Iraq, Afghanistan. Okay, this is going to be highly decisive, very strategic, highly specialized action. And it's going to introduce not just the B-2s, not just our planes in the sky and an aerial onslaught, but a new weapon that you have never, ever heard of. Again, guys, I've been studying this for years. I'm an expert in quantum entanglement and the Space Force weaponry systems. I taught entire courses on this for several decades and predicted current events from the lockdowns to currently what's happening. I told you June 14th would, of course, be the entrance into World War. So don't ask me how I know. Just listen to what I'm saying and think for yourself and, have a critical eye. But I'm telling you straight up that Donald Trump, in this precision move, will couple the events and the strikes that have already been completed by Israel that will decapitate the nuclear proliferation systems. They've already taken out major leadership. The Ayatollah Khamenei, for example, has had to announce his succession plan. This will be otherwise known as a soft coup, kind of like Zelensky in Ukraine, where they put in a puppet, but it's like United States, Israeli friendly. So total psychological warfare, truth is stranger than fiction. I'm also the first in the world to tell you, I told you this years ago when Top Gun 2 Maverick came out, that they were predictively programming the coming invisible enemy events like 2020, and then also what would happen now in Iran. If you notice that the boogeyman in Top Gun Maverick 2 was all about not knowing who the enemy was. There wasn't any particular bad guy, but they went in to the bunker and they took out the nuclear sites and they had missiles that were targeting them under attack. It's the same thing now. And even you have Fox News hosts telling you this as well, because they're only copying what I've already revealed to you for many years now. So I can't go into too many details because I'll let Donald Trump convey this to the American public. But a top secret weapon, a very Manhattan-like atomic, of that structure. How do I explain it? I'm explaining it in the respect you've never heard of it before. You have no idea that these weapons even exist. Again, if you've studied any of the declassified material that's been released in the last several decades, like I have, and you've read through countless 1,000-page reports, and you've listened to every single piece of geopolitical advice, tactical moves, conflict scenarios, and then you've deduced as a master chess player all the sequence of events, you would know exactly what I know now. Highly precise, very specific, total elimination, total decapitation, and then it'll show the strength of America, which is why you have all these people from Elon Musk to Peter Thiel to Palantir to Anduril to all the tech giants supporting it. For example, if you try making a phone call into Iran right now, you can't do it because AI chatbots take over. They only revealed, as I explained to you and predicted, the artificial intelligence rollout after 2020. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the PSYOP. You also need to understand that they're hitting you from the skies, as crazy as that sounds. This is a system, okay? So Starlink and all these things in your skies, all these towers, the software, which I'm not allowed to talk about, all of it is about this and what Donald Trump will reveal. So it's how he unlocks the golden age. It's how he limits the damage. And all you're seeing now is the short-term volatility that I predicted. As crazy as it sounds, everyone always thinks I'm crazy. And then days and weeks and years later, it all comes into fruition. For example, when I told people that Bitcoin would take over the entire US financial system, several decades ago, people said I was crazy and that that wouldn't be allowed to happen by sovereign governments. They would ban it, they'd get rid of it, and it was a scam. Well, now the president has put all of his money in it. Scott Bessent, who worked for George Soros of the Quantum Fund, and I know Jim Rogers, who's the right-hand man of George Soros. I've met with him in Singapore and Southeast Asia. I've sat down with him for hours. I've had lunch with him. I've smoked a cigar with him. So like you guys, not you, but I'm saying the general public has no idea what they're talking about. Like Eric Schmidt and I had many conversations several years ago when I was flown out to YouTube and Google headquarters because I was the top producing YouTube producer in the world at the time. And they wanted to know what my secret was. So I already knew all these events were coming, and I know it from my own study, my readership, my understanding of human psychology, people, and also the military-industrial complex, and also the currency financial systems at a level that comes from Wall Street, because I worked on Wall Street, like many of you know. Like, again, top of my class, kind of a savant. I know that sounds egotistical, but it's really true. I'm kind of a genius if you actually are really paying attention to what I'm saying. So, by the way, the person with the allegedly the highest IQ in the world came to the conclusion that Jesus Christ is king for a reason. So what I'm telling you is the truth, and I always reveal it here first, but you have pivoting and posturing from the military-industrial complex, J.D. Vance, who was installed by Peter Thiel, funded by him. And they are creating a narrative along with Jack Posobiec and others because they're all posturing for the next election. And also, they want to convey that this is not another ground war. This will not be another Afghanistan or Iraq. It's not going to be. I told you this first, before they even said this. I told you June 14th was the militarization of the country ahead of any potential counterstrike, counter moves, and possibly homegrown events. You know what I'm talking about here in the States. And that's why Donald Trump had run that PSYOP, essentially. It wasn't about protests. He actually wanted that. He's smarter than you think. I mean, I've joked before about 5D chess, but this is like 7 trumpet D chess. And by the way, the 7 trumpets are sounding. Also, how I know all of this is because it's biblically, scripturally accurate. So what will happen next is it's now coming to the news. When I've already told you this weeks ago, months ago, years ago. And I already have successfully predicted. You need to pay attention to what I'm saying because what I am saying, it comes from the Holy Spirit. It doesn't come from myself. So, credible opportunities ahead. When the dust settles and all this is said and done, you'll look at this as the best buying opportunity in world history. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, are going to skyrocket into the golden age next. New all-time highs. Record announcements. Trump's going to shock buy millions of Bitcoin that will send cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to new all-time highs. And by the way, guys, I'm rich for a reason. I'm not rich because I'm stupid. I'm rich because I'm smart. Like, there's my $300,000 Bitcoin Lambo right there. See? Okay, I own properties all over the world, and I'm wearing a gold Rolex that only myself and Michael Jordan own because I must be smarter than most people. Understand that, as crazy as I sound. Understand most of all these tech oligarchs, like, if you speak with them, they almost sound like, I'll use the word, retarded. Like I know them and I've spoke with them many times before, and they're not normal people. Like, you don't understand them. We all are kind of on the spectrum. We have high levels of anxiety. We sound ridiculous most of the time, but it's because we're really tapped in. And you have to understand that the nerds have taken over all of society, that we're in control now. So the Bitcoin mafia, the Peter Thiels, Mark Zuckerberg, others, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, the Oracle founder, Sam Altman, etc. We own this place. We own the country. So you need to understand this, that we're in charge. We are the new steel barons, as there were steel barons in history's past. Okay, there was the development of industrialization, or they were bringing people into the factories. Now it's all about AI, chatbots, robots, artificial intelligence, self-learning lingual models, LLM models, etc., that are running all this. So there's vast simulations, and I've run all these simulations myself through multiple computer algorithms, lion's blood, for years now. And I know what I'm saying. It sounds crazy, but if you actually listen really closely, you'll actually hear what I'm saying here. But I already know what's going to happen because all of the computer data The biblical scripture, again, the highest IQs in the world, we all go to Jesus because after we run all the calculations, we only see God. And we live in a simulation. It's not a technical simulation. It's God. God created the simulation. That's what it is. Money's not real either. And I've told you this many times. If you want to know the secret to the 1000x, money isn't real. The universe is abundant. Money does grow on trees. It's printed into infinity by the central bank. Besant, who helped crash the British pound, listen closely to what I'm saying, along with Jim Rogers, my friend, out in Singapore. They helped crash the British pound, which is why Donald Trump installed them into the US presidency to crash the US dollar. Not because they don't want to preserve the US dollar, but they're just transferring the new system into the new system. Do you understand? I hope you understand. See, I'm only up only. Do you get it? Fear and uncertainty and doubt, I'm going all in. Do you get it? Do you understand? A lot of you don't understand. So what I'm telling you now, with 100% accuracy of biblical prophecy and literal astuteness of all knowingness, that a top secret BOMB, a new weaponry technology, will be revealed to all of you in the general public, and it'll be the big news, the whole ruckus across Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, Starlink. You know, it'll even align Elon Musk and others, and it's going to be this top secret reveal, or yes, the United States has this tech that no one else in the world has. And it's how I've known all this stuff is going to happen. You have to understand, you need to think like an algorithm. The algorithms are in charge and they're making the decisions, and the elites are running vast algorithms, as I've all seen them and ran them myself through, various tech. It all leads to the same place. So the reset is here. The golden age will be unlocked after these seismic events and these very strategic, precise moves. Then everyone from Stephen Bannon, Laura Loomer, Jack Posobiec, Alex Jones, and everyone can cheer on Donald Trump that he prevented nuclear war in World War III, saved America with the limited strikes along with Israel. And now we're safer and better, and the golden age has been unlocked, and we won. See, it's a psychological op too. Many of you few don't really understand what I'm saying. It's a psychological operation. So once you understand how our intelligence agencies work, and I would have been great, man, as an asset. I just never got into that, but I really would have been really good. I'm very good. But I know because God tells me. So many of you have been following me for decades, so you already know my track record, but there's a lot of doubters out there. And to them, you're welcome to this channel. And I've gotten tons more subscribers recently because all my predictions become accurate. But again, you need to see the forest through the trees and understand now that you're going to look back at this moment of uncertainty and fear and realize you got cucked again by the deep state, because they're going to Ponzi this up to a world record Ponzi scheme. They're going to blow up the debt into infinity, transfer all the wealth to the elites. It's all coming into our crypto and cryptocurrency bags. And we're only going further up only into tokenized real world assets, which I designed. I mean, you don't think I bet my entire life, took all my risk capital and dumped it into Island Project and $33.5 million along with my investors and members into the highest demand, specialized micro niche beach and oceanfront real estate in the world, decentralized with no bank debt because I didn't know what was coming. Do you understand? Do you get it? I hope you do. And as crazy as this video sounds, I was just as crazy over 15 years ago telling you to buy Bitcoin. And I was right. How? Maybe I'm just a savant. Maybe I'm just gifted from God. Maybe both. Maybe I'm Rain Man. Maybe I count cards in my head like no one else in the world can. Maybe my mind operates like an algorithm, which is the highest intelligence because it's the algorithm of God. And maybe I have a linguistic gift that a lot of people fail to recognize and misinterpret and misunderstand until it's too late. You could have taken any of my advice over the last 20 years, you're rich. You could have taken any of my advice over the last 20 years, you're much better off than you would have been. You could have taken any of my advice in the last 20 years, you're much better positioned to pivot, leverage, and profit than anyone else in the world. And again, the proof is in the pudding. If I was wrong, I wouldn't be sitting in front of a $300,000 Lambo and a $20 million mansion. Do you understand? Do you get it? I hope you do, because a top secret weapon and a brand new technology will be revealed by the White House in an emergency meeting soon. And again, precise, tactical, non-Iraq, non-Afghanistan, not a full-blown war, just to decapitate the head of the beast. They're going to get rid of it, rid of the nuclear proliferation. And then Donald Trump has already positioned himself, honestly, as the peacemaker. No joke, he's going to get Nobel Peace Prizes, Newsweek, The Times, Wall Street Journal will say, oh my gosh, he was right. How did he negotiate the art of the deal? Trump pulls it off once again. The madman who dodged a BULLET from Butler, Pennsylvania, declares world peace, stabilizes the region, and then America is going to pump. Jerome Powell is going to queef into interest rate cuts, take us into NERP, if not ZERP, zero interest rate policy, negative interest rate policy, and he's going to pump all of our bags into infinity. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, Bankrupt of America, Wells Fargo, Circle, which I recommended, Palantir, myself, and all my members are going to continue to profit into the hundreds of billions, soon to be trillions of dollars, while you've been waiting around and thinking all this is a scam. Just like people told me about social media. See, I understood social media 20 years ago. I was one of the first in the world. That's why they flew me to Google headquarters back in the day. I came in, there's a giant helicopter out front. Roll in there, and that was in the early days, because I always understood that the power of media is actually the most powerful influence and weapon. Bigger than government and bigger than the B-2s or the B-52s or this new top secret reveal, which will be revealed soon. And again, the unknown and the mystery of this top secret technology will then establish America's greatness and foment the peace and prosperity, as Donald Trump sees it, into the golden era. Homegrown events are likely and should be treated vigilantly, but of course that'll only reinforce the Golden Dome, as Donald Trump then locks our borders, cleanses basically the United States, and establishes the new America, the new city-state version of the 1776, which of course will be completely different than from your parents' or grandparents' US of A. And it was all planned, just like 2008-09 was an inside job. That was just a wealth transfer. So was 2020. Hindsight's 2020. I always called it that because, again, you'll look back in 2020, many people thought I was crazy then. I'm throwing chairs in the pool. I've done it many times before with Bitcoin. I said, get in, buy it under 3,500. People said I was crazy. It's going to zero. And then it went all the way to 100K. So if you're not buying now, you're a buffoon. What does Mark Twain say? Repeating the same mistakes over and over again is insanity. So learn from the insanity and learn that very few people, and I'm not the only one saying this because there's other savants out there, many of whom you tune into that are kind of weird. One of them is Max Kaiser. He's over in El Salvador. He's like building his own country because we're all psycho. I hope you understand that. So is Mark Zuckerberg. These guys are like literally like really crazy people. You don't understand. Nuclear bunkers, they have bunkers. There's a submarine out in Kauai. I live in Hawaii. It comes out underneath his estate. And then it'll take him to rallying points so he can hit his jet or his helicopter. There's already drones armed flying around everywhere with like robots and stuff. Like, you guys have no idea what's coming, dude. Like, Larry Ellison's island in Lanai is called the Farm. That's where all their top secret drones have been launching for years. We saw it in Maui years ago. All my friends did. A massive football field drone filled the sky. It's all solar powered. So again, it's not like the government tells you anything. Are you kidding me? You think the government tells you anything about what's really going on? I mean, Elon Musk is a crackpot, dude. He does, he's literally nuts. Just like Bitcoin sounded crazy when I first revealed it to you 15 years ago. And you're like, oh no, that won't be allowed. Well, Donald Trump just bought $2 billion worth of it. And Scott Bessent, who is a former George Soros hedge fund manager who collapsed the British pound, is now established the reset, which I predicted, which is resetting into what? Stable coins, Genius Act, and into cryptocurrency. So like you're on a roller coaster, America, and a lot of Americans don't understand that if you're in US dollars, you're going straight down. UBI will be released next because the wealth transfer is going to be so huge, many of you will not survive it. So yeah, man. This is kind of an esoteric video. I wanted to really kind of come from stream of consciousness. I don't care if people understand me or you think it's weird. I am weird. It's why I'm rich, and most people are broke because they don't understand. They really don't understand. And you know, I've always viewed it as even if I can take just 1% and I get the 1% to figure it out and actually take my advice, they'll be so much better off. And that's why I'm a weapon for God. So we're in the air, up only. And Donald Trump will reveal a top secret technology to the American people imminently. And the genius here, the savant, who's kind of crazy and weird, but it's gotten it all right over and over and over and over and over again, will be proven correct again. And you're going to share this video and be like, oh, this guy's a little crazy. I wish I would have taken his advice. Oh, he's right again. The golden age was unlocked. Oh, man, Bitcoin's at 300,000. Now it's at 3 million. Oh, he's right. Tokenized real estate. Oh, that's how they transfer the debt. It turns out Donald Trump is getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and he revealed a secret, top secret weapon along with Israel, and now there's peace and prosperity in World War III, which we are in. This is an evolving process. Just understand that the end times, right? No man knows the day and the hour. This is going to shift. This is going to move. It's going to evolve, right? I'm expecting a solid 42 months out of Donald Trump. It already says in Revelation 13, there's about 42 months left. So this big window is right now. And everyone counting on the Depression 2.0, there is one. It's called a wealth transfer. Very rich people and very broke people going into crypto. I hope you understand that. That's the shift. But everyone's that's looking for the traditional 1929, you're not going to get it. 1929 is pumping our Bitcoin bags. Do you understand? 1929 is Scott Besson, a George Soros lackey, pushing it all into the stable coins. That's what it is. A lot of you still don't get this. Do you understand? So again, you got to get on offense here and realize you will not get this opportunity again. Man, like I just bought a ton of crypto too, by the way. I'm not going to tell you what I bought. Full disclosure, I'm just not going to tell you. But I made some huge moves. Yeah, this is incredible. Honestly, it's going to happen quick too. Within 30 days, the golden age is going to be unlocked. Total panic and pandemonium up only. Everybody bitching and complaining right now that you're finding in MAGA is going to be singing Donald Trump's praises and apologizing to the... I mean, it's going to be nuts, dude. Trust me, I know this for certain. It's why I've positioned you and told you what's going to happen next, because I already understood where they're taking all of this, because I understand human psychology and I also understand intelligence at a very, very high level. And also, how much time do you spend praying a day? When I wake up in the mornings, I basically am in steadfast prayer for a long time. I don't pick up a phone. I'll pick up my Bible. Sometimes I'll read a book or philosophy. I'll walk around. I'll pace a little bit. I'll do some stretching. I'll pray. No noise. Right? Just block everything out. One thing I like about being on the ocean is they can't hit you from the sky as hard. The ocean, I don't know why, but it disrupts whatever they have. Look this up. Quantum entanglement is something I revealed to all of you about 10 years ago. I did a special report on it, on all the EMF electromagnetic spectrum weapons that the government had. I was so worried about it and convinced at the time that I dedicated and spent thousands of hours studying it and then revealing all of it to you. And I always know I'm right about something when people miss it and they don't think it's significant. Just like Bitcoin. It was like yelling into wind. yelling at the top of my lungs with tens of thousands of videos and just going in one ear and out the other. When I came out with my electrospectrum video warnings and quantum entanglement theory and the rod of God and all this kind of people were in and out. You're nuts, Christopher. And then over the years, I just keep getting richer and richer because I never cared about that. But I realized, because it started to piss me off, I'm like, I know all this stuff is happening, but I'm not profiting. So about a decade ago, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this for free, because I built AMTV for 10 years without making any money. I made no money. I was a laughing stock. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make money because it's so easy. I'm going to just show everyone how rich I can get. And so then I actually tried a little bit, and then boom. The number one place to get rich now is tokenized real world assets. Everybody's in it. Donald Trump has multiple billions invested in it. And he has a self-interest to declare the golden age and unlock it. That's where all of his money is. You do understand that. I mean, even if Donald Trump was just sitting there wanting to establish world peace or something, he's going to do that because he's got major bucks on the line. So he's going to make sure it's fulfilled. And Donald Trump wants to make a statement. And I know this too because I heard this from God years ago. I remember I told my honey bunny, I said, hey, honey bunny, we got to get out of here. Let's bug out. We went straight up into the mountains of northern Arizona because I knew we were on the verge of war, world war at the time with North Korea. And then immediately when Trump got in, he dropped what? A bunker buster. Trump likes making a statement. He's kind of like a dog. Have you ever seen a dog mark its territory? Dogs like to mark their territories. Have you ever seen that? It's the truth. You can't get away from human common sense and also human nature. So the only thing that we can count on, and all the algorithms play into this, again, fear, sex, the good ones, the positive ones, hope, love, drama. I mean, that's why Americans love reality television so much. On the next episode, will blah, blah, blah get a divorce from his new gold-digging wife? Stay tuned for the next episode on E! Right? So Americans love that. Kind of reminds me of Charlie Sheen. Remember Charlie Sheen? He was like, they were asking him questions. He was like, are you bipolar, Charlie? He's like, I'm bi-winning. I just win here and I win there and I win here and I mean, he's kind of a genius, Tiger Blood. So I'm not lifting Charlie Sheen on a pedestal, but I'm showing you the entertainment nature of our culture. Kim Kardashian's ass, those two cheeks are worth more than most of your entire lives ever will be in your entire life for a reason, because the American people and people worldwide like the drama. So why am I saying that? Not to be crude. I'm sharing this with you because the drama of Top Gun 2 Maverick is here, and Donald Trump's going to put it on full display. And I've already shown, argued, proven, and revealed through revelation and acts of God everything that's going to happen logistically, strategically, militarily, ebbs and flows, geopolitical movements, negotiations with Russia and China, attack on Taiwan, Ukraine, the annexation, Trump's deal, seal of approval there. See, all of these things are being negotiated now. Trump's real phone call is with Putin, and also with Xi Jinping. He's actually not really negotiating with Iran. See, they're going to kind of let Iran fall a little bit, but they're going to make their bed with strategic elements that are more important to them. This is a Sputnik moment in a space race for the most valuable artificial intelligent asset in the world, which some of you are now catching on. It's amazing after it hit 100K. Oh, maybe I should buy some Bitcoin. Should I get the Bitcoin? Bro, I've been telling you this for literally 15 plus years. Yes. So the Sputnik moment and the currency of AI is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and real world assets. And nothing is real because money isn't real. Do you understand? A lot of you don't understand still. You go to work your entire life thinking the money that you earn is real. It's not real. The only things that are real are gold, silver, physical real world assets, your mind and your skills, and God. That's it. Everything else is just a transfer of value. Even Elon Musk explains it that way. It's just basically an auditing board and like a debit credit system for value trade. How do you trade value? Well, you do it with some kind of currency or money, whatever currency or money that is of the time. But still, so few Americans get it because they don't understand the Federal Reserve history. They've never read Jekyll's Island. They have no idea how the private bank works. They don't understand how Wall Street works. They don't understand how hedge funds operate. They don't understand the derivatives market. They don't understand anything. They're just going about their day. Nothing wrong with that, but they don't understand that the controllers organize this whole system for themselves and their own benefit for power and control. And as long as they sit on the top, they'll then negotiate through mass psychological operations, warfare, fear, uncertainty, media control, Operation Mockingbird, stunts, publicity, WWE. They'll even change the cast of characters in the television show that become our presidents, because what is needed now is a more entertainment factor. Do you understand or do you not? Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I bring this information to you today because I want you to understand that a top secret weapon will be revealed next, and I'm the only one in the world that told you first. And so when you come back here, even if you're arguing with me now, I want you to come back later and just be like, yeah, the general was right again. And I'll save your comments and I'm going to put them on X. So I always like to save people's comments when they say I'm wrong, and then I repost them later. And then everyone's like, well, we knew that was going to happen. No, you didn't. You had no idea. Because if you did, you'd be sitting in front of a $300,000 Lambo and a $20 million house yourself, but you're not. So as crazy as I might sound, maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention. Links below. I love you. God bless. Jesus Christ is King. Islandproject.com, the digital Noah's Ark, 150 unit minimum. Get in now. True 100% equity ownership, fractional real estate, no bank debt, because we built it on a foundation of rock, expecting and preparing for these exact World War III events as they occur now. Massive volatility. We're only buying more. We're going to get better deals as we expand the 13 colonies, which is why we've been dollar cost averaging. In our future income distributions, of course, our tokenization launch, which will tokenize into the golden age. So when I'm in the same seat again very soon and I'm tokenizing, and you're going to be like, holy cow, Christopher's blockchain, that crackpot is worth $10 billion now. Again, it's an idiocracy. I understand the genius and idiocracy of that too. Do you get it? Do you understand? I am a philosopher, genius, religious savant, economics professor, and media maverick. I'm thinking of the word. It's at the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me in a minute because I want to get it perfectly. Indigo child. That many of you underestimate, but it has never paid to bet against me. It'll never pay to bet against Donald Trump, and it'll never pay to bet against the constitutional republic in 1776. Pray for Alex Jones too. I see he's running a GoFundMe. I guess he's run out of money or something. He didn't take Max Kaiser or my advice all these years. So God bless him, and we pray for Alex Jones and his bankruptcy over at InfoWars. God bless.